Welcome back to Primetime Super Friends, the show that promised to put the bat in your belfry, the arrow in your quiver, and the flash in your pan. I'm John, this week's guide to all things Gotham. I'm sitting here with one of my good friends who wants to rape Stephen Amell. Like, rape him.
It's not rape if it's willing.
Is it willing?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe he'll return your fan letters soon. Maybe. We'll see.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sick. If you can't tell, I'm gonna blame. What did we say? Who it was? It was Captain Cold.
Sure.
Captain Cold that made it snow. Because he's a douchebag.
He blasted you with something white.
Yeah, I guess so. Because my throat is all kinds of jacked up. If this is your first time listening to the show, we are elbow deep in spoilers. So if you're not caught up, you should go catch up and then come back and listen. You can contact us on Facebook at Primetime Super.
Ketchup like the condiment?
You like ketchup mustard?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look that up. Go ahead. Or you can email us at primetimesuperfriends@gmail.com. That being said, let's try to limp our way through this podcast. Alright, so this week's episode of Gotham focused around the Red Hood gang. This week, Bullock and Gordon are investigating the Red Hood gang who's been robbing banks in Gotham. We find everyone who wears this Red Hood meets an unfortunate event. There wasn't a whole lot to this story, and I think I was kind of okay with that. They started off not really having a leader, and some kid throws on a Red Hood while they're robbing the bank, in which case he gets killed by another gang member who takes on the Red Hood, and it shifts places a couple times in the episode. I mean, what did you think about that? You said you weren't a big fan of this episode.
I'm just not a big fan of this show. At some point, Jerome from last week's episode will pick up the Red Hood and put it on, then fall into a vat of acid. It's coming probably in about 3 episodes.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of curious about that, because they showed a little kid pick it up at the end of the episode.
Yeah, a different kid, I'm assuming. I mean, maybe, who knows? It could all be one big swerve. But to me, that's probably what's going to end season 1. I don't know. I'm not sure that they're going to go that far. 3 or 4 more episodes, I think, to find out. So.
Part of me thinks that what it is they're just trying to plant seeds. And what it is maybe that little kid that picked it up at the end is so psycho that, he saw the Jerome stuff happen from the previous episode, and then he saw this Red Hood thing go down, and he likes the madness behind it all and tries to, emulate it, eventually becoming it, sort of thing.
Or they'll have that with Jason Todd.
Yeah, that could work too. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Who somehow is the same age as Bruce Wayne.
I was going to say, never mind, because it's not a big enough age grad.
Don't do it.
I
don't know.
Don't make me hate something I'm not ready to hate just yet. There's enough of that.
You can hate me now. I won't stop. But I won't stop now. Can't stop. 'Cause I can't stop now. You can hate me. You can hate me now.
We had what I thought was a good side story this week in Alfred, and Bruce had a visitor at the Wayne mansion. Alfred was visited by an old friend named Reggie. I didn't get his last name. O'Toole. He was visited by his friend Reggie from his past. He's played by David O'Hara, which I like him. He's been in some other stuff. He said that he's been stumbling around doing whatever he can to make ends meet since his wife died, and he's a bit of an alcoholic, which kind of threw me because later in this episode they sit down and they share a bottle of wine.
You and me and a bottle of wine.
I'm like, Alfred, this dude told you he was an alcoholic, so that's probably not a very good thing to do.
He's also telling your, pseudo son to hit him in the face and whatever, which during that scene I was just like, pick up a fucking ashtray and smash him in the face with it.
See, I liked that scene. I liked it a lot, actually, because it kind of, I don't know, gave Bruce an alternative look at fighting.
I was okay with it. It was just, would you let this dude stay in your house with this small kid?
Well, obviously he didn't, though. I mean, it's, he's, I think timeline-wise, this was probably, 2 days? 3, max?
That's still letting him stay there, by my calculations, for a couple days.
Touche. Long story short...
It doesn't take long to molest children, John.
Oh, man, come on. They didn't even imply anything like that. But...
I don't know that from experience.
Reggie drudges up a little bit of Alfred's past, saying that, he hasn't always been a squeaky clean butler, which we already knew from previous episodes. This guy had something going on. He's part of the SES and decided to turn away from that life. No, not that. I don't remember what it stands for. Don't ask me. something service. Alfred decides that Reggie needs to go, and upon the night he's supposed to leave, or I guess it was supposed to be the morning after he was supposed to leave, you know, I see what you're thinking. Don't think that, you perverts.
The morning after pill?
I don't think that works that way.
Oh.
He catches Reggie going through their study, you know, that one room. Apparently they have 2 rooms now, 3 rooms. They have a staircase.
They showed a kitchen.
And there's a study. You think they all sleep in the same room? Or does one sleep in each room?
Probably, for sure, Bruce sleeps in the study. I think we...
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That's happened.
Yeah. I just assume Alfred sleeps in the kitchen so that if Bruce needs a sandwich at 1 a.m., he can get it quicker.
Okay, so then that, by default, makes this guy sleep on the staircase.
Yeah, the guest room is like, there's maybe a closet under the staircase.
Oh, that works, like Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Harry Potter because I've never seen that gay shit, but...
I love that stuff. And Reggie was from the United Kingdom. Scotland, but still.
And it's Reggie
Hogwarts is in Scotland.
So that tool coming out of the closet just makes sense to me.
Sure, we'll go with that. He ends up stabbing Alfred, and I don't think he's going to die.
That's one of the things that made me roll my eyes at this episode was... you can't get drama in the true sense of the word by putting characters that you know nothing bad is going to happen to long term.
Well, and it's like
situation.
Yeah, exactly. Bad things can happen to them.
When Arrow killed, Arrow or Oliver Queen a few episodes back, the drama there was how is he going to come back from that? Not is he alive?
Exactly.
With Alfred, by the end of the episode, they're showing him in a hospital bed. He's being treated, and you more or less just go, okay, so he's going to spend an episode or 2 in a hospital bed and then go out for revenge.
Right. Yeah. So again,
anticlimactic.
Not too worried about Alfred there, although it did lead to Gordon and Bruce hugging. I'm sorry if you spend that much time with a kid. When he grows up to be Batman, I would think on first shot you'd know he's Batman, right?
But they always leave that ambiguous in the comics. He might know who he is.
Yeah, but I don't think he knew from first. Well, okay, whatever. That's neither here or there, I guess.
If you go by year 1, he saw him without his mask on.
Oh, yeah, good point. But they're definitely not going by year 1.
Well, yeah, they're not going by anything.
Make it up as we go, folks.
Let's literally throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to the tail end of that just because I guess we'll see where that goes. Fish this week, she has a meeting with the manager who says he's not in charge, but it is Dr. Dollmacher, which sounds suspiciously like
that's the German doll maker.
Exactly. 9, Jeremy, no. The only thing that I thought was kind of cool...
I'll take your blue eyes
about the
and blonde hair.
The reference was... Oh my gosh, I just got on to what you're doing. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's taking all the brown eyes and replacing them with blue ones.
Nope.
Anyways, this was a throwback, though. If you remember, I think it was like one of the first few episodes or so. They had those people who were abducting the kids for the doll maker.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I think that this might turn into a bigger thing. I don't know.
Hey, the more things you tie together, the deeper you make the universe and the better it is. But you can't try too hard. But I'm not saying this was an example of that. Just
right. No, I completely understand. This was something I liked as opposed to some of the other things they do. We saw Fish during this. They were going to take her eyes, and she popped out her own eyeball with a spoon.
This shit was fucking crazy. They showed that at 7 o'clock on Fox.
Yeah. And then
she didn't just take it out. She fucking stepped on that motherfucker.
It's balls.
Close enough.
Anyways, yeah, no, she squished that. What the fuck? Squished it with her foot, which is absolutely insane. I don't know. It was one of the few strong moments I think she's ever had. Legitimately, one of the few strong moments that character has ever had. Just because, I don't know. I mean, it takes a scary kind of mentality to pull that off.
I was just stuck on, you can show that on Fox at 7:30 or whatever?
I guess so, because they even showed the little cavern in her head where there was no eye anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was minimal, and I liked that.
Do you think you could fuck it?
No, let's not go down that road. It's Fish. You said you hate fish, and you wouldn't do it anyways.
I wouldn't. Doesn't mean someone wouldn't.
You shouldn't if you're listening to this. Or anywhere else, I guess.
If it's a hole, you should fuck it.
We did get caught back up with Cat, Ivy, and Barbara this week in a very minimal scene. I was very happy it was minimal because it was shitty. why are we, I don't know.
It was fucking creepy. Call it what it is.
It was insanely creepy. So creepy. She's standing out on her balcony looking off into nothing and, decides at that moment, I'm going to give these bitches some dresses. I guess they're not bitches, they're children, but you know what
bitches.
I mean. So, she takes them back inside, says, hey, you can take any of these clothes that fit. You deserve to look pretty. Then pulls Kat out of the room, stands her in front of a mirror, and is like, you're very beautiful. You're going to get more beautiful. I have the quote here. Beauty can be as powerful as any knife or gun. And I love the fact that Selena turns around and is like, well, what good has it done you?
Bitch.
Exactly. I don't...
It felt like she was coming on to this kid, and I don't know how old she's supposed to be, 14, 15, whatever.
In that ballpark.
It doesn't matter. She's underage, so it's weird in that respect. It's also weird because we know that Barbara likes chicks.
I guess I didn't really even factor that in. I guess...
So you can't go, oh, she's being all innocent by that. No, this bitch likes pussy.
Well, and what is she wanting her to do? Go out and kill somebody?
And then that's the other thing. Like, what are you trying to tell her to do? Go pimp herself?
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
It was really weird.
Fucking creepy. And I know that, Selena Kyle, Catwoman, or whatever, does eventually use all of those things for her crime career, I guess, later on. But we're nowhere near that right now.
No, and I feel like that's something she could easily pick up just from the fact that she'd be, doing something, get caught, and then exactly.
Plus, I'm sorry, you're probably not gonna take that fucking life lesson from the, I guess, currently detective with GCPD, his ex-girlfriend / lesbian chick that means nothing to anyone.
It just seems to be flailing around. Does she have a job?
To be an annoying cunt in side stories?
I guess so.
I don't know. I mean, she's attractive. That's about all she's got going for her.
Yeah, they really would have been better just to write this character off the show entirely and bring her back when it was actually going to matter.
I still don't understand why they didn't bring her back, like maybe early next season. Oh shit, I'm pregnant.
There. Bam. Good enough. Because obviously...
Fucking hire me.
If we're going to have, Batgirl come from that anyways, you would assume that she'd have to be the same age as Dick Grayson, who's probably going to be born pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was a 5-minute segment, and it probably drew the most ire from me from this episode. Which
it did
is just
me.
Craptacular. But very minimal Penguin this week. I did find it interesting that they started with a bad comedian, and I think that's kind of one of the things they like to do, to be like, oh, here's a Joker Easter egg. If you're going off the Killing Joke.
Yeah, we've had 4 or 5 possibilities at this point.
Right. And I assume that they think, oh, they'll never see where it's coming. But again, it shouldn't pay off at any point.
I could see it paying off. Let's say the show goes 10 years.
Maybe, but I don't see it going 10 years. I would be really surprised if it goes 10 years.
Surprised if it makes 5.
Yeah, ditto. Because I was even thinking about that. If they wanted to do something where they shot 5 years of this storyline and then, recast some people and progress it, jump 10 years in the future or something like that, that might be something that they could do because they could keep a lot of the same cast together and give you updates on where they went.
Sure.
Like a reboot, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't know that Warner Brothers wants Batman on TV.
That's stupid.
It is, because Batman's one of the few superheroes you can do on TV. Look at Arrow. I mean, there's not a far fall from Arrow to Batman.
Show with the Arrow treatment.
That would be amazing.
Fucking God, I would jerk off watching that.
You do that to Arrow.
I would jerk off harder watching that.
That might be bad for you.
Yeah, I might rip it off.
Gross. We had Penguin this week. Again, bad comedian, still floundering. He can't get his alcohol because Maroni's in charge of that trade. It doesn't line up. Maroni's like, I'm not going to kill your guy. I'm not going to kill your guy. All is square. You gave me this judge, whatever, but I'm going to, choke him out on the booze market. Falcone's going to take notice of this. There's no way. So then there's going to be some kind of bad blood that's going to form because of it. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that'll probably happen, but all I thought was, this guy's an asshole. Everybody should be able to get drunk. Especially to listen to shitty comedy.
Yeah, or to watch this show.
Well.
I've never tried that. It may be better.
How have I not thought of that?
I might have to give that one a go. But we find out Butch, I guess he's not brainwashed.
That was what was weird to me.
They just totally dropped that, right?
He was talking normal, and yeah. He's going to screw Penguin, right? I mean, not like sexily, but screw him over.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like he says, long story short, he ends up being able to get the booze for the nightclub, and all is well with the world. Butch says that he's basically loyal to the club, not to anybody else or whatever. And at the end, they're tossing back shots, and Butch makes the comment, I'm tired of being a sidekick. I don't want to be a sidekick anymore. Which I would think that he's supposed to be Penguin's sidekick, so I'm sure that's where the start of their feud is going to come from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that seemed put me to sleep.
Yeah, it wasn't anything, but again, it wasn't really that annoying to me. At least it was minimal. I feel like leaving some characters off these shows, or, taking their time down to 5 minutes per show isn't a bad thing, because you can tell a better story when you can flesh it out. When you're trying to cover the bases as much as they try to do every week, you just wind up getting a watered-down version of something you're not really satisfied with. So at the end of the episode, we find out that Reggie was working for Wayne Enterprises. He'd been hired by the board to find out how much evidence that Bruce had against them, and he says there's not really much substance there, which case he says, so now would be a good time to make a move on Bruce, and then decides to throw out there, but he's just a kid. I don't know. I mean, and another note, with him stabbing Alfred the way that he did, I'm like, these are trained killers. You would think that if he stabbed him in a way that he could live, he did that deliberately. He didn't do it, If he wanted to kill him, he would have killed him.
Mm-hmm. Fucking stupid.
Yeah. It just
really fucking stupid.
We're going to believe that a board of people are going to murder a child?
Well, no, that part makes sense to me, that they would go after him if they think he's trying to fuck him. But, yeah, I know it.
Yeah. No, I just picture the kid that plays Bruce, like, over to the side, like, hey.
How you doing?
How you doing? I got money.
How is this kid going to fucking defend himself from whatever they're going to do to him without putting on a cape and cowl?
Exactly. Like I said, I feel like they jumped way too far ahead with that. I mean, there's other stories they could have told that would have led to the understanding of who got his parents killed or whatever. Because, I mean, a random act of violence makes more sense to me than having it set up. Because you can regain vengeance from that.
The Bruce Wayne scene should be limited to him studying things, practicing fighting, taking interests in different things that would shape the eventual Batman, not...
So character moments.
Yes, not being chased after by, villains or... it's... Fuck you, Gotham.
Yeah. You know what, though? I will say this. I liked the episode overall. I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of stuff that's come before it. And there were a few things they even got right. I did find the Red Hood stuff interesting because it kind of gives you the origin of where that might come from, regardless of how it turns out. So, I don't know. I was down. All right. So that's going to do it for Gotham this week. Jeremy, why don't you fill us in on what Arrow had going on?
Alright, so let's get our flashbacks for this week out of the way. As we left off last week, the U.S. Army has taken Oliver back to Hong Kong to basically debrief him and whatnot. They're kind of finishing up whatever questions they had for Oliver. They mentioned that Amanda Waller has been taken off the case, which Oliver seems pretty happy about. And they suggest that Oliver can go with the Asian motherfuckers. I can't remember their last names, but Tatsu and Masao. He can go with them to Japan. Then he can go wherever he wants to, back to Star City or whatever else he wants to do. He'll be a free man. Oliver's stoked about that shit. So he meets up with Tatsu and Masao and the kid. They're all reunited now, and they're trying to board a boat to take them back to Japan, when they are attacked by a group of armed thugs who apparently work for Amanda Waller.
Okay, did they confirm that? Because I must have missed that.
Masao said it.
Okay, because I had my suspicions.
Yeah, Masao said it, that she must not have been happy about being taken off the case, and so he was pretty sure they worked for Waller.
Gotcha.
Gunfight breaks out, and Of course, the kid's in play. The kid in play.
Kids in play.
He's in play in this scene. Basically, I think we all know something's probably going to happen to this kid. So the fact that there's a gunfight heightens the drama.
Oh yeah, I kept waiting for that, shot behind of like a crate where you just see his feet sticking out from, behind it or something.
We didn't get that though. Basically, we left off, as far as the flashbacks go, we left off seeing Oliver trying to get the kid the fuck out of that place when he and the kid are separated from Masao and Tatsu. And that's where we left that storyline for the week. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Oh, I'll just throw out there that, I know I complained on a previous episode about these flashbacks. This one wasn't as bad to me because it was short.
There wasn't much of it.
Yeah, and I was perfectly okay with that. I didn't feel like it took over the episode.
The one that we talked about last week, the flashbacks were pretty much the episode.
Right.
I mean, we had essentially half of the episode were flashbacks.
And they dragged on and on and on and on.
All right, so in our current timeline, we open the show with a naked Ra's al Ghul sitting in what must have been a Lazarus pit. They didn't come out and say it, but it had to be, right?
It had to be.
Nissa walks in the room and lets Ra's know that Oliver Queen is still alive. He gets his naked ass up out of that Lazarus pit. No concern for the fact his daughter's standing right there. I thought that was weird.
I didn't even think about that. Gross.
Gets dressed as he's, basically talking to Nissa about the fact that, Oliver didn't kill your fucking chick, man. Calm down. Whereas Nissa's like, wait a second, he fucking challenged you, and the fact that he didn't kill Sarah doesn't mean shit. He needs to die. And we get our opening credits. Back in Star City, we've got the Queen's training with Malcolm Merlin down in the Arrow Cave. The club has been fortified. Diggle has taken care of that. Locked all the doors, bolted them motherfuckers, secured it all Argus style. Malcolm suggests that Thea and Oliver stay there, but Thea is having none of that shit. She ain't afraid to know ghosts, and she'll stay at her apartment. Of course, Malcolm has a witty remark where he suggests that, hey, you're both stubborn as fuck, you must get that from your mother.
Oh, snap. Because he banged their mother.
Well, because the mother is the parent they have in common.
Oh, yeah, that too. I'm just kidding.
We get kind of a foreshadowing scene between Diggle and Oliver where he mentions that he was going to ask Oliver for a favor, but now that he sees Oliver in such rough shape, he's more worried about him and suggests that he needs to get some sleep and whatnot. Oliver's not having that shit. He'll sleep after he's either dead or taken care of the League.
That's a lot of shit to do before bedtime.
I know.
Yeah.
We get a scene with Roy and Thea. They're having their little Dr. Phil moment where Thea says she can't tell anybody what she's got going on, but basically, Roy's like, motherfucker, I already know everything. Come on, I work with this guy, with Arrow. And they get to talking about the fact that Roy had killed the police officer while he was drugged on Mirakuru last season. Mm-hmm. And the fact that... no one told him for a long time what he did when he was under the influence. He now wishes he didn't know what he had done because it fucks with his mind. So he's essentially identifying with Thea and the fact that she killed someone while she was under the influence of something. But Thea, I would say, correctly points out, yeah, motherfucker, but it's not like your fucking friend's family member that you killed.
That was a valid point.
Yeah. Ray Palmer has apparently been missing for a week, which would explain why we didn't see any of him last week on Arrow. Felicity shows up at his apartment and finds him working on the Atom suit, and we'll rejoin that storyline here in a minute. So Thea's guilty conscience leads her to tell Laurel that she killed Sarah. Laurel freaks the fuck out and, of course, blames Malcolm for the whole situation. Doesn't understand how the fuck Oliver or Thea could work with the guy. And basically she kind of makes Thea feel bad to the point that Thea goes home, calls up Nissa, and tells her where to find Merlin, which, how does she have her number?
I just assume that everybody that wears a mask at some point has all other people who wear a mask or a cowl or whatever on speed dial.
So maybe there's like a superhero / villain Facebook equivalent.
Oh, or yeah, I was gonna say phone book, but who the fuck uses a phone book anymore?
No, this is 2015.
Yeah.
So it's probably like it's got to be a social media thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she probably just tweeted her, hey motherfucker, Malcolm did it.
It'd be like face mask instead of Facebook.
They don't all wear masks, though.
Do they? Some are just figurative.
Oh, you went all deep on me and shit.
That's me. Hyped up on cold medicine and philosophical.
What a deep river woman pop in my head. Jesus Christ. Upon learning all of this, Laurel confronts Oliver, who of course lies to her face about, oh yeah, we're gonna catch Sarah's killer. And Laurel's like, motherfucker, how do you do that? I know. Thea told me. And we get a heated exchange that basically comes to a head with Laurel. I don't know how I ever loved you. Oh, snap.
That was a deep cut. Mm-hmm. Not as deep as the cut that Raj gave him.
The first cut is the deepest. Laurel suits up as the Black Canary, goes after Merlin, and basically gets the shit kicked out of her till she pulls a gun.
Yeah, you know what I loved about that was the fact that he's like, I can hear you walking up behind me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, you're really not good at this.
Yeah. Did you think you were going to take me down with a fucking billy club? No, I was going to shoot you.
Good thing she had a backup plan.
Yeah. At the point that she's got him staring down the barrel of a 45.
Come on.
The League shows up, and Nyssa and Malcolm go at it. Not in the sexy way, because neither of them like that. I can't even get that sentence out. Neither of them are digging what the other has to offer. Let's put it that way. Yeah, the League takes Malcolm prisoner. Oliver wants to rescue Merlin to save Thea from the guilt of getting her father killed. Laurel and Felicity are having none of that shit, and Diggle seems to kind of understand, but also implies that there may be something more at play. Arrow goes to the, I guess it was the airport or some sort of landing strip. Where he attempts to save Malcolm as he's being taken from Star City. He fails at that, but does capture Nyssa, who remarks that vengeance is justice, motherfucker. Back in the Arrow Cave, Oliver basically implies he's going to torture Nyssa and asks for everyone to leave them alone, which I just assumed he was just going to put it in her butt.
That's what you assumed?
Yeah, that'd be torture for her.
I feel like it'd be torture for anybody, really. I mean, I know some people dig that, but it doesn't sound good to me.
Well, but she doesn't like dick.
I don't even want to have this conversation because I was about to approach that from a different angle. But yeah, let's just move on.
He doesn't have to torture her. Nyssa willingly tells Oliver where Nana Parbo is. Is that how you say that? Nana Parbo? Nana Parbout? Nana Parbo?
I thought it was Parbo, so I guess I'm wrong. Nana.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Na. Wrong show. Sorry.
Yeah, Nana something anyway.
Sorry. Really, my head just totally went like Scrubs moment. And he's like, my Nana, and they pan over and it's some old lady like, I love you, Oliver. Cough medicine. We'll go with that.
Of course, everyone thinks Oliver's gonna fucking die, going to take on the Ra's al Ghul again. Even Laurel, who's super pissed, doesn't want him to go. Diggle wants a minute alone with Oliver, and they basically talk a little bit, and again, Diggle implies that, hey man, you're not doing this just for Thea, there's something more going on here, and Oliver's like, no, I swear, it's just about my sister.
I swear it just popped in my head.
I swear by the moon and the stars and the stars, I'll be
That old boy band song.
I swear.
Yeah.
We're going on a buddy cop mission.
Back to the Felicity and Ray Palmer storyline. She locks Ray out of his computer system or whatever he's using to work on the suit, forces him to take a break to eat, sleep, and shower. The shower being the key part, because later on she sees him come out of the shower shirtless with a towel on.
My mind's telling me no,
They get to talking all sexy
but my body,
and then start making out.
my body's telling me yes.
And then they get their fuck on.
I don't see nothing wrong
I got nothing.
Adam did it first. Adam did it first. So yeah, he hit that shit. Wakes up after fucking the shit out of her, fixes the suit, and takes it for its first flight. Which I don't doubt that Felicity could fuck you so good that you'd
have a clear mind.
Yeah, that you'd suddenly know how to do shit you didn't know how to do before. But I could not leave that sexy bitch naked in my bed, no matter what kind of superhero suit I had waiting on me. Okay, yeah, I could, probably. As long as I knew she'd still be there when I got back.
There you go.
What did you think of the suit?
Man, like, I don't like the suit. Like, it's cool, but it's not that I don't like it, it's just that I've seen it before on Tony Stark. It looks straight up like the Iron Man suit with a different mask.
It was very Iron Man-like, but I didn't hate it.
No, but I just feel like if I was one of the people who was in charge of the design of this thing, I mean, you have to realize there's that strong of a resemblance, right?
I'm assuming they don't care, because you would have to know.
Yeah, that's my only real qualm with it. It's okay, it's fine, but it looks way too much like an Iron Man suit to me. I mean, straight up the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man suit. Like, it's even got like the flaps in the back that open up and the foot boosters and all that stuff going on. I mean, it's just way too close for my taste.
Yeah, I mean, but you could argue that like pretty much all superhero costumes look alike, except maybe Batman, because it's got the ears. Yeah,
but this is, I don't know. It was too close to me. If I was Tony Stark living in the DC universe, I would sue the shit out of Ray Palmer.
Goddamn, that'd be a good crossover.
Two rich dudes with super suits.
Just shooting palm lasers at each other.
Yeah.
Fucking attractive blondes.
Yeah, I feel like Palmer might be a better dude, though.
Yeah, he's got a sexier blonde, too, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Actually, that's here. All right. So, Diggle goes home, and he's talking to baby mama Lila. She asks Diggle, hey, did you talk to Oliver? Did you ask him? And he's like, motherfucker, Oliver's got other things on his mind. And she asks what's up. Diggle fills her in, this time just with his words instead of his big black dick. And,
I'm sorry, I gotta backtrack for a second. Was there any parallel to you or like weirdness, the fact that the last time Oliver left to go face Rage was like, you know, I love you, Felicity, and blah, 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 and they had this moment. And this time, she's like, you're gonna leave and go die, so I'm gonna go fuck this dude.
That just seems like something a woman would do.
Yeah. I feel like there's gonna be some friction because
I'll
of that.
show you by showing him.
Good for Ray.
No shit. But yeah, so Diggle feels like he should have gone with Oliver when he fought Ra's al Ghul the first time. And Lila's like, well then fucking go with him now, motherfucker. Just come back alive. So, Diggle says, hey bitch, you think we can borrow the Argus jet? Because apparently Oliver Queen does not have a jet anymore. He's fucking poor and shit. Which, I wish they would explain how he buys all his Arrow stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that bothers me.
Poor with a super badass apartment that he hangs out in? Or
that
I guess
was
Thea.
explained, because Malcolm bought that for Thea.
Yeah, okay.
But the constant supply of arrows and other gimmicks, I wonder about that.
He's just rummaging through trash cans at tech labs everywhere.
They have arrows in tech labs?
Alright, he can go to Walmart, I'm assuming, and get some sort of arrow.
That's what it is. He's just stealing from Walmart.
There you go. What a douche.
No, fuck Walmart.
Okay.
Don't fuck Walmart, you'll catch white trash. Thea confronts Oliver, not wanting him to go face Ra's. And they get their heartfelt fucking feel-good moment talk on, where Oliver basically says, hey, both of our parents are dead. That shit was my fault. You don't want to know what that feels like, to have a parent's death on your hands, so I've got to go stop this shit from going down. And with that, Diggle and Oliver take off to Parfait, I don't know, whatever. We see Malcolm is in captivity, and he's begging for his life. Ra's makes another comment that alludes to the existence of the Lazarus Pit when he says something about having faced a motherfucker in 1858.
Hung out with some magician.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess it wasn't a fight. He was just hanging out with the magician, kicking it and shit. I
like that, because we got the confirmation.
Yeah. Rach tells Malcolm to face his death with dignity and know that he takes no pleasure in this. But Malcolm's acting like a little bitch and screaming and pleading and basically trying anything he can to get out of getting his ass murdered. Oliver and Diggle fight their way into Rach's palace, whatever gimmick. Fucking killing motherfuckers left and right, it looked like.
That's how it came off to me, because that one dude took an arrow to the head, and unless that thing had something blunt on the end to knock him out, that dude's dead.
I thought it showed it go through.
Did it go through? Okay, maybe.
It looked like it went in his eye or something to me, but it was quick, so who knows. So they're fighting their way in, and back in Star City, Laurel decides she wants Merlin alive because somehow it's a piece of Sarah that she can hang on to by being mad at the dude that caused her death. I didn't necessarily understand that, because if someone killed part of my family, pretty sure I'd kill them with my bare hands.
Yeah, you'd be angry enough to take them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'd very much be fine with that and could live with that. But I don't know. Never been in that situation, and I'm not a good person. So
at least you know.
Yeah.
Knowing is half the battle.
Inside Ra's al Ghul's palace, Oliver and Diggle track Malcolm, which this was a cool throwback moment for this show. Back one of the first episodes of the season, Oliver had hit Malcolm with an arrow that had some sort of nanobots on it that he used to track him. That's how they fucking found him inside the palace.
I'd forgotten all about that until this.
Malcolm's being tortured.
Yeah, torture, motherfucker. Torture, what?
And guess what? It's a trap.
He's trying to murmur it.
Yeah.
Hanging over some freaking coals.
Yeah, it looked a little sexual.
I didn't catch that. I think you just see that in everything.
Yes. So some fucking cage thing drops down, and when we come back from the commercial break, Oliver and Diggle are chained up. And
it just made me think it was like the worst version of Mousetrap ever. Like it actually functioned. The cage comes down and traps them both.
Yeah. Is that still a thing?
I think so, and it probably still doesn't work correctly.
I was going to say, like, surely they would have made it electronic by now and it would actually work.
Yeah, because as a kid, that cage would never fucking come down.
That always made me so mad.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mousetrap. Diggle and Oliver are chained up, and they start having their kind of feel-good Dr. Phil talking whatever moment where Oliver admits, okay, I'm not just doing this for Thea. I wanted to get revenge on this motherfucker. Every time I close my eyes, I see, feel, and smell and fart the fucking fall where Ray had kicked him off the cliff back a few episodes ago.
I don't know why that made me laugh as hard as it does. Sorry.
He says he could not live knowing that someone beat him. And Diggle's like, yeah, that fucker got in your head, man. So Oliver says, hey, what the hell were you going to ask me? And Diggle's like, buddy, you're my brother. Never thought I'd have another one after, the other one got killed and stuff. Assuming we make it out of here alive, what do you think about being my best man? And Oliver's all like, well, I'd feel pretty good about that. Aww.
Shed a tear on that one.
Guy love. Maceo shows up and says, hey, it's time, and it looks like we're going to get another death of Oliver Queen. But back in Star City, Roy is with Thea, showing her some fucking family he's stalking.
Creepy.
It was a little creepy, but it's revealed that it's the family of the police officer that he killed, and basically he's been trying to take care of them, sending them money and Christmas presents and things like that. Mentions Boba Fett by name, that he got the kid.
Yeah, but that was interesting.
Boba Fett toy, yeah. Some sort of deal between DC and Star Wars, right? It's got
Star Wars is owned by Disney.
Oh, yeah. Who
owns Marvel?
I don't know. That was weird to me.
I think it was just dropping a nerd credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so he mentions that by name, and he makes sure to tell Thea, hey, they don't know it's for me. But Thea's is like, no, motherfucker, this is not the same. She says, hey, maybe I am a killer. Blah, blah, blah. She goes back to the Arrow Cave. Thea goes back to the Arrow Cave, and she tells Nyssa, I'm the one that killed Sarah. Lets her out of her little cage thing and gives her a sword. Tells her to take her vengeance. And that's the last we see of that for this week. Back at Nana Parbo, Raish doesn't want to kill Oliver. Instead, he wants an heir. He's deemed Oliver worthy, and I just want to point out that the guy who's playing the fucking character said Ra's al Ghul, not Roz.
Oh, I didn't catch that, which is funny because everyone else on the show says Roz.
Yeah, but the guy himself said Ra's al Ghul.
That's funny.
And I know they did that on purpose.
He's like, I know my own damn name.
Yeah. So, yeah, he wants Oliver Queen to be the new Ra's al Ghul and be his heir, take his place, whatnot. Interesting to me because, to me, this opens the door, and I know they won't do it full on, but it opens the door to at least be like, there was this other guy at one point.
Well, and that's what I wondered. I was going to ask you, what do you think? Because it's like, well, you know, that eliminates Talia. And then on top of that, was this after Batman turned him down, or is Batman his number 2? Because there's no way.
No, in my mind, this is his backup after Batman was like, nah, I ain't doing it.
Right.
So I'm hoping that at some point they'll just that's all I want, just a little acknowledgement of like there was another, but he didn't have the strength to kill or something like that. And then that's all I need.
What I know you can, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I need. Yeah, because we know fucking Oliver Queen will murder.
Exactly.
And I would fucking shit myself if Bruce Wayne were to show up in Star City and be like, "Don't do it, nigga. Don't do it."
If Bruce Wayne showed up and said that, first I'd like to watch Diggle's reaction.
Right.
Second, I would just laugh my balls off.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I think we all knew Rachel wasn't going to fucking kill Arrow again, and nor was Arrow going to kill Ra's al Ghul at this point in the season.
Right.
So, something had to give, but I had not thought about that possibility of him being the heir.
No, I thought that was pretty cool, though. I like that. Does that mean he's prepared to die? Like, or do you think it's like long term?
I assume it's long term, like it would have been with Batman with the training and the other things and whatnot. Hell, maybe they'll bring Talia in on this. I don't know.
I don't either.
They've still got several episodes left before the end of the season. We do get a 3 or so week break where we're probably only going to be talking about Gotham. Sorry.
Listen, anyways.
Yes.
They could be good episodes.
We will shit on it.
Maybe.
It'll be hilarious.
I thought this week's episode was okay.
But anyway, I enjoyed the fuck out of this episode of Arrow.
It almost felt like a miniature movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they strung a few of these episodes together, it could be a good movie. But yeah, so March 17th and 18th, it looks like we're going to get Dr. Wells revealed as the Reverse Flash on The Flash. And
spoilers.
We're going to get Oliver's decision on being the new Ra's al Ghul. So that's going to be a good week. But until then, we're kind of
stuck in Gotham.
Stuck with Gotham. Yeah, another way to say it.
That's going to do it for another episode of Primetime Super Friends. If you'd like to contact us in any way, you can find us at primetimesuperfriends@gmail.com. You can find out all of our information on the show at Pub Talk Podcast. You can also listen to our other show, Pub Talk Podcast, which is pretty damn funny and really not safe for anybody's ears, so you should listen to it. You can find us each individually on Twitter if you'd like. I'm at Raging Leprechaun. Jeremy
at Legendary Jeremy.
And through the power of editing, Michael
at the Happening 81.
And until next time, stay super bitches.
Felicity sexy.
Na 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 na.